Hi everybody, welcome back to 30 Days Until Done on January 6th. We're working on content and revision for this week, and we're talking about one of the things that people have the most difficulty with, which is ending a poem. How in the world do you end a poem? It's a little bit like ending a song. In the 1970s, they always did this thing that I hated, which was the fadeaway. The group would be, sing the same line over and over and over, and it just kind of slowly faded away, and it's just, I hated that. I was like, why can't you finish the song? I know some people I don't know. We're trying to avoid a couple of effects that are kind of like that here. The first one we're trying to avoid in ending a poem is a summary of the poem, right? This is what the poem means. And really when you're summarizing a poem, you're telling you what this means. You're not trusting two people. You're not trusting your reader, you're not trusting yourself. You are a talented person with vision and beauty and intelligence. Trust your talent. Trust also the talent of your reader. People who are seeking out your poetry, who are reading your poetry, are not stupid, right? In fact, these are tremendously intelligent people. They're so intelligent that they're going to take your poem and they're going to change what you wanted it to mean into something that is meaningful to them. Right? And that's an important thing that poetry can do, right? So that makes it meaningful for their own lives. When you summarize, you take away their ability to do that. And really, the poem is the job of two people. It's the reader and it's the writer. When you summarize, you've killed that. And very often that summary comes at the end of the poem. So how in the world do you end a poem? You end a poem when you've got that last fresh image, right? That really tells us something greater about life or about yourself or about whatever it is. Okay, so the first thing you're looking for at the end of the poem is summary. The second thing you're looking for is just this sort of horrible feeling where it's just kind of fading away and becoming mush. No, we want it to end with something that's clear and strong, leaves us with something for hours later. I've been listening to A Love Supreme for about the last year by Coltrane. And when I go away from A Love Supreme, it plays in my head. It stays there because it's an extraordinary song, an extraordinary album too. Same thing will happen with a good poem. It will stay in my head and replay itself for a very long time. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. That kind of phrase will stay with you for hours and hours and hours. And that's what you're looking for. And the best way to do that is to end that poem well. I read a couple of poems earlier this week. I read Ted Kooser's poem, and it ends this way. All night, the cities, like shimmering novas, tug with bright streets at lonely lights like his, right? And so you've got this idea of this person flying a plane. He's looking down, and as he's passing by, people are flipping on their lights in the middle of the night, which seems unnatural but important because of the loneliness that everyone's feeling, right? It's a good last image. Very often, I said one of the most common things I'll do when I'm editing poems for people is I'll just scratch out a whole bunch of stuff. Same thing at the end. Scratch out a whole bunch of stuff because we just didn't need it. It ended here when you had that one last little thing, right? Okay, so what is the homework for today? What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to find these poems that are weak and they kind of fade off and there's something summarized. Show us that and revise it, make it better. You can post both down below. You can post one. You can just explain what you did, whatever it is that you like, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. 30 Days Until Done.